Hello, bright and shiny beacon of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, out here in Joshua Tree, where the winds have just switched 180 degrees on us. I'm told I need to look at the camera instead of looking down here. This is going to be a challenge because I'm always trained on here, but here is where I get to look tonight, which means where am I going to go with my notes? But this is actually, we're going to have a really, really fun YouTube event tonight. We're going to be talking about Schrodinger's cat. Don't worry, no cats are hurt in the making of this. We're going to talk about quantum science. We're going to talk about collapsing waves into particles. We are going to talk about the science of manifesting whatever it is you desire. So you're going to want to stick around all the way through to the end as we take you through step by step through this and do a super powerful manifestation meditation as well. The light will be changing here in the desert. We are on our super RV. This is our our third time. Bet you don't hear that in an interview or a live event very often. This is our third time recording from our super RV Grace. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? We are going to be going on the road in about 30 days. And so we are learning how and where we can record. And we are out in the desert. And the desert, what they don't tell you about it is, it's freaking windy. The desert is almost always windy. But I think we have things under control, minus maybe the hair a little bit. And I'm learning that if I look down, it gets dark. So the question is, how do I look at my notes? Well, I've got one question. I wonder if I can do this. Will that look bad? No, that would be up too high. I'm like, how do I look at my notes while at the same time not breaking eye contact with the camera? Before we dive right into things, and tonight I am going to give you some fantastic information on how you can really create through the power of your mind and the power of your heart. You can move that Pookie if you want. It's super easy. How you can do that. We have a class coming up Wednesday. I want to tell you about this. I'm going to be talking about it all throughout the evening because I channel once a month. I channel one of the masters. A few months ago, it was Napoleon Hill. We taught Think and Grow Rich together for a month. Then it was Neville Goddard, and we taught together for a month. By teach together, I channel before each class. I take notes, and then I teach. This past month was Florence Scovel Shinn on the game of life and how to play it. And this next class coming up starting Wednesday is the science of getting rich with Wallace Wattles. Oh my God, what he has to share and how succinct and to the point is phenomenal. And so we have 4 classes coming up this Wednesday, the following Wednesday, and the following Wednesday. You can do this. You can join this for only $7 to get all 4 live classes, plus get our Napoleon Hill collection, plus get our Neville Goddard connection, plus get our Florence Scovel Shinn collection. If you want to continue, it automatically continues at just $28 a month, so $7 a class. Of course, cancel anytime. But you get $7 to learn the full science of getting rich. But let's talk tonight about the science of attracting anything you desire. Oh, if you do want the classes, the link is being posted here by Allie, one of our Inspire Nation gurus. How does it get any better than this? Let's talk about the basic premise for the science of attracting anything you desire. Thoughts are causative. This is the premise for the whole new thought movement. This is the premise for law of attraction. Anything that you want to call thoughts are causative. And you may go, well, what does that mean? It means quite literally, thoughts become things. And there is an entire science behind this. I have a dear friend. His name is Dr. Dean Radin. He's the head of the Center for Noetic Sciences, where they have been studying, not just at the center, but in academia, whether it's Princeton, whether it's Harvard, you name the institution, they have been studying thoughts as causation for over 120 years. They call it PSI, PSI, paranormal psychology. Some people say there's no proof behind parapsychology. Actually, the proof in parapsychology is to a factor of 6 sigma, which is a billion to 1. In other words, the proof that our thoughts produce reality is 20 times greater than any evidence that an aspirin or any other pharmaceutical actually helps you. 20 times greater, the science that says that you can think something and change your reality. They've started with random number generators. They tracked different events and what happened when a lot of people thought about the events at the same time. And there's a boatload. What's the term? Let's use a scientific term. There's a tremendous amount of evidence as well by Lynn McTaggart on the power of 8, how when people meditate together and come together as a group, that can change the outcome as well. So literally, the science shows that if you flip a coin, let's say 100 times, you get it 50 heads, 50 tails. Unless you focus on the flips or focus on a specific event in which all of a sudden you literally affect the outcome. You get a group of people together, and it affects the outcome even more. You get people praying, and now you radically affect the number generator. Thoughts become things. So let's take this to the quantum science level. And don't worry, we're going to give you some how-to here tonight. And I feel like maybe this is a little too dry. I am sitting on the patio deck of a 44-foot super RV. Why is it a super RV? Well, it's got a home inside of it. It's got a kitchen inside of it. It's got a living room inside of it. It's got a fireplace inside of it. It has a studio inside of it. It is monumental. And it came out of the thoughts of my wife, Jessica, and myself. We literally thought this RV into existence. In fact, if we go back 6 years ago, Inspire Nation show hadn't started. We're now one of the top self-help and spiritual shows worldwide on iTunes, on Spotify, on everywhere. And we have an amazing growing presence, which you're watching us here on YouTube. And we said, let's start a YouTube channel. And it's going to fund everything. It's going to fund our future. It's going to fund our family. It's going to help us pay for our parents someday, which if you're watching, we're getting there. Woohoo! How does it get any better than this? At the time, we had never recorded a single show. How in the world are you going to go from never having recorded a single show to supporting yourself, to supporting your families, to traveling around the world, to having a super RV, and on it goes? It's because thoughts are causative. Thoughts are also positive. If you truly believe it, with every ounce of breath that you have, then it must, by definition, by science, by law, come about because of the frequency involved. And also because of quantum science itself. What in the world does quantum science have to do with attracting anything into your life? Quantum science is something I got interested in high school physics, when I realized that there was the observer effect. And the observer effect stated that you couldn't tell where a particle was and its mass at the same time. You could have one or the other, and I might be getting it wrong, and it's where it is and where it's headed. You could not have both of these things at the same time. Why? Because the observer affected where and what was going on with the particle. What in the world does that mean? Well, you may have heard the experiment. You may have even seen it in the movie What the Bleep, where they have like a ping pong gun, where they're firing one proton at a time. at two slots in a wall, slot A and slot B. And when you fired it, you didn't know whether this atom, whether this ping pong ball was going through one or the other. The interesting thing was that ball was going one place and both places at the same time. From a science point of view, it was both a wave of possibilities. It could be in slot A, it could be in slot B, and a particle, one or the other at the same time. This has everything to do with manifestation. So we're going to do something really fun and dangerous here tonight. We're going to talk about Schrodinger's cat. Please forgive me. No cats were harmed in the making of this video or in the making of this metaphor or story. What in the world is Schrodinger's cat? Schrodinger, years ago, he's a quantum physicist, did a science thought experiment. And he did it with cats and poison. Oh. And what he did is he put a cat in a bunker. And I'm watching the camera going up and down as we speak. He put a cat, actually, let's do it differently. We're going to modify this slightly. How can we make this more positive? Yeah. We're going to do a new version of Schrodinger's cat because we don't want to blow up or poison any cats here tonight. We want to get cats high. And so we've got kitty cats and we've got catnip. And a kitty cat is put in a bunker and has a 50-50 chance of catnip going into the bunker. So the cat may just have a normal experience in the bunker or maybe beside him or herself happy in the bunker. So the scientist doesn't know until he or she checks whether this individual cat got catnip or not. In fact, 100 cats are put in there. 50 of them ended up with catnip. 50 of them didn't. Here's where it gets really interesting. In terms of quantum science, until somebody looks and checks whether that cat is high or not, that cat is both places simultaneously. The cat both has the catnip and the cat doesn't have the catnip. From the cat's perspective, the cat is either woohoo or not. And it doesn't become clear which it is until there's someone observing the cat. That's the observer effect. So what happens? When the scientist goes and opens up the bunker and looks in, he may see happy cat, check marks happy cat. Or he may see cat stuck in a bunker, check mark. But is the scientist looking at the cat that literally affects the outcome? You watching your life, just the fact of being an observer, affect the very outcome. This has a profound impact on your life when you get to realize or when you start realizing it. And as I'm getting excited, I'm watching the camera go wobble, 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 wobble. And I made a promise that would be using an upgraded tripod after tonight for the back of the RV. But it's doing great. The very fact that I am watching the camera affects the camera. The very fact of the scientist watching the cat affects the cat. What does this mean? It means that every thought you have has a positive effect on the outcome of everything. Because you are the observer of your experience. So yes, you trip in the morning, you say what a bad day it is, you feel really lousy, you go into work, you get cut off, you spill your coffee. Why? Because the observer effect dictates that the energy you bring will literally affect the outcome. It's not so much just that thoughts are causative, that thoughts create things, but far more powerful than thoughts are what you emote. The energy you bring affects everything. And the idea that you hold, if you get nothing else from tonight, remember, it is the idea that you hold in your heart that determines your outcome. We're here in this magnificent super RV. We're learning how to work everything. Jessica is doing an unbelievable job behind the camera and getting everything running magnificently well. She is truly my hero. Just weeks ago, 6.5 weeks ago, this was all just a glimmer in our eyes. And we could have said, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how this is going to work out. In fact, when we started looking into it, couldn't find the RV, couldn't find this, couldn't figure out the truck, couldn't. We could have collapsed the wave into the particle. We could have collapsed the kitty into the bunker without the catnip, poor kitty, by focusing on the outcome that we didn't desire. We could have focused on the outcome that we didn't desire. And that's what we could have brought about. Instead, we kept the lantern burning bright for exactly what we did desire. How often are you keeping the lantern burning bright for the exact opposite of what you're looking for? How often are you focusing on the doubt, focusing on the disappointment, rather than focusing on exactly what you want? Now, here's the thing. The deck is stacked against you a little bit. So we've had Dr. Rick Hansen on the show numerous times. He's the author of Hardwiring Happiness. And he talks about how the mind has a negativity bias. So now we're going into psychology of happiness here, which has everything to do with manifestation. You don't have to be a happy manifester, although that's very good. But the science of happiness suggests that you and I were wired to look for the saber-tooth tiger, or in this case, the, killer jackrabbit. We're wired to look for the tiger, and we won't rest until we find it. Why do we have a hard time manifesting? Because we're continuously looking for the tigers or the killer jackrabbits, and you will find them. But this is an energetic game. You collapse the wave into the particle. You affect the outcome of the random number generator when you focus on the result that you desire with everything you want. Okay, truth be told, if you focus on the opposite result with everything you've got, you'll get that as well. So key to understand that focus with everything you've got. Facts and effects everything. So the negativity bias says that you are going to look for danger. Why? Because we've been around for like 150,000 generations, maybe many more, maybe many, many, many more than that. And if each generation looked for danger and stayed alive, we'd still be here. If they got eaten by the tiger, we wouldn't. And so it is hardwired into our biology, into the amygdala, kind of they call it the lizard, like the ancient part of our brain, to always look for danger. That always looking for danger snuffs out our manifestation. I love sound effects. Cold. Instead, we get to do exactly the reverse. Look for signs, look for symbols, look for positive emotions, and do everything we can to kick that negativity bias to the curb. In other words, we get to cast out doubt with everything we've got. So tomorrow morning, our truck goes in, our brand new truck goes in to get a minor, what I'm calling blessed boo-boo repaired. And tonight, we can't actually move it because the tailgate on our brand new truck is stuck. And so tomorrow morning, I have to count on a rescue mission from the universe to be able to disconnect the truck from the RV to get it into where it needs to go. Now, I could go, oh, I don't know how this is going to happen. What are we going to do? The world, the horrors. I'm dramatizing here for a point. We actually do this. We focus on exactly what we don't desire, and we get it with everything we've got. Instead, I get to celebrate in reverse. I got this backwards growing up. We get to celebrate this in reverse. Woohoo! Everything's working out. And focus on that with everything I've got. And then, just like this amazing super RV, everything will work out. Or something even better. So let's go back to this critical piece of throwing out doubt. Now, not talking about being reckless, but I'm talking about giving your doubt to a higher power. Now, I'm an angels guy. So I would say, I cast the burden to you, angels. I give you the heavy lifting. I give it to you. I'm not going to take this on. If the truck is going to move tomorrow morning, and I know it will, then you're going to take care of this. I cast out that doubt because doubt creates a wrinkle in time. Doubt creates a wrinkle in time. I call this the law of contraction. The reverse is the law of expansion. The universe is always expanding, is always growing, has always got our back. The universe has always got your back. Why? Because the universe wants to learn and expand and grow and learn and expand and grow and learn and expand and grow. It's not looking to contract. It's not looking to be pain. It's not looking to be evil. It's not looking to be anything. Universe is everything. God is everything. Source is everything. Whatever you want to label it, everything is everything. The field is everything. The field of energy is everything. And the field of energy is constantly wanting to expand, which is why I'm always talking about, and I've been teaching on each Wednesday night class, and you'll be learning more about it, about getting into the flow line, getting into the energetic state. If you watched our YouTube live 3 days ago, you can learn about the flow line that brought the Super RV into being. The universe is always wanting us to get into this magical flow from which anything and everything can be created. And that's what we're talking about tonight. Getting into the flow where anything and everything is created. Every single thing. That's the law of expansion. When you have those expansive thoughts, when you have those dreamy thoughts, when you have those thoughts of, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if. That is an expansive thought. And that will bring about your heart's greatest desires and more. When you go, well, I don't know if that's possible. I'm really upset about. When we go to these emotions, first off, let's do a little experiment. Let's do a little thought experiment. So shake those shoulders loose for a minute. Get those arms good and loose. Oh, shake things out. Watching the camera, making sure it's staying stable there. It's doing great. All right. I want you to do this. I want you to think love, expansion, dreams. One more time. Love, expansion, dreams. Fear, doubt, concern. 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 Can you see? I can hear Ruru in the house right now who's hearing me. Can you see which one will help you create? Can you see which one will bring about the reverse? The law of contraction states that you will get the exact opposite of what you desire when you dwell on the exact opposite of what you desire. Law of contraction. You will get the exact opposite of what you desire when you dwell on the exact opposite of what you desire. Which means that we get to dwell or focus on what we really want. You focus on having a super RV, you have a super RV. You focus on your income going up, even though there's no hint that it will. We'll get to that more in a minute. And that's something Wallace Wattles and I will be teaching for the next 4 weeks. Law of invisibility. You don't need to see it in advance. Law of invisibility. You don't need to see it in advance. You don't even need to see signs of it taking place for it to. Schrodinger's cat. Whether the cat is high or not, there are no signs in advance. It is directly affected by the observer. If the observer believes that cat is high, then that cat is high. If you believe that you are getting rich, then it doesn't matter if there are no signs or symbols of it in advance. You are getting rich, my friend. And there is a whole science. I'm going to walk you through it step by step coming this Wednesday. $7 for a whole month on getting rich. And if $7 is too much for you to sign up to get rich, then you need this course more than anything else. How's it go? If you don't have time to meditate, meditate twice as long. If you don't have $7 on how to get rich, then you need to spend $7 on getting rich even more. It's about the energy. It's about where you place your expansiveness. Where do you choose to place your expansiveness? Where do you choose to place your awareness? What do you choose to look for? Are you looking for the killer jackrabbit? Or are you looking for the golden bunny? Either way, you are right. Quantum science says both of those outcomes exist simultaneously. It is only the observer that brings one into reality. So, what do you want to be the observer of? Do you want to be the observer of your greatest future and attracting everything you desire? If so, we start kicking doubt out to the curb. We start playing in what I call the space capsule. I've been teaching about this for 2 months now. People can share can share here who have been taking our Manifestation Mastery Circle, our Wednesday night classes, about how they've been enjoying the space capsule. And I'm going to continue teaching you the science of the space capsule this Wednesday, next Wednesday, and on and on. Break for the last Wednesday of May. That's moving day for us, and we teach 4 weeks a month. When you envision something, when you see it in your mind's eye and it tugs at your heart, and you feel it and you build upon it, and you feel it and you build upon it, and you feel it and you build upon it, then you are literally feeling it into reality. If you feel it, you start to build upon it, but you get scared and go small, you create nothing. This isn't to say fear, worry, doubt can't exist. I have my own share. I certainly do. But I get to bring it back and bring it back and bring it back and get back into that centered, expansive state with everything that I've got. That's what we're talking about. That is the science of creating whatever you desire, is learning how to play in this expansive state. Now, I wanted to introduce you to just a couple of Wallace Wattles' key topics, key premises. And then I'm going to open it up a little bit early to questions tonight. Hang in there, though. We are going to do such a powerful manifesting whatever you desire, meditation, and just a little bit. Of course, I am hopeful, and I don't know if it will happen or not. But I will focus on it from an expansive point of view, that Jessica, who is running all things camera and all things computer, for the Q&A, can come join me on the mic as well. So stay tuned and we'll see. And I'm not sure if she can even hear me from here. She is so focused. All right. 2 concepts from Wallace Wattles. First off, he says that we produce out of a formless substance everything we desire. All emotions, all ideas, all physical products, all health, all wealth, all abundance, all love, all joy, all companionship, all come out of this formless substance. This formless substance is the field. What in the world is the field? It is the wave of possibilities where the cat can be dull, the cat can be high at the same time. This formless substance is where you can be rich, it's where you can be poor at the same time. The formless substance is where you can have the happiest, most joyous, most expansive life, or a life of strife and struggle, all at the same time. Everything is created out of this formless substance. By part number 2, impressing on this formless substance whatever we desire. You could impress upon this to become a king of a kingdom. You could impress upon this to have the most miserable life. It is all about your resonance, your frequency. If you're feeling good from this talk here tonight, it's because this is an attunement. Each of our classes is an attunement as well, which means I'm speaking to you on multiple levels. Actually, at least 3 levels. I'm speaking to you at the level of the word. I'm speaking to you at the level of metaphor or simile. And I'm speaking to you at the level of energy. Which one do you think is most important? Yeah, the energy. If you simply feel better from this and feel better from our next class and feel better from our next class and feel better, then you are getting into that state of expansion, the law of expansiveness, where you can't help but attract whatever you focus on for the positive. when you listen to the news, when you watch the shows about the end of the world. You're going with the law of contraction and you're getting that too. It's a choice. It's up to you. But this is an attunement. It is an energetic pick me up that has a compounding effect. Our RV, it's just the most amazing thing. It has all over the front of it, all over the back of it, the word momentum. And I have taught for at least a decade, if not two, all hail King Mo. Who's King Mo? Momentum. What does that mean? It means that one thing builds on the next, builds on the next, builds on the next. Your energy goes up, you feel better, you begin to attract. You attract, you feel better, your energy goes up, you begin to attract. You attract, your energy goes up, you feel better, you get to attract. Or reverse, your energy goes up, you feel great, you attract something in. You feel even better, your energy goes up even higher, you feel even better, you attract something in. Of course, the reverse is true as well. This doesn't mean that we're Pollyanna. This doesn't mean that we don't see challenges around us. But it means we get to be the quantum observer of everything and realize that our focus creates expansiveness or creates contraction. And what do you want in your life? Anything, everything is possible. If you focus on that expansion and you practice even more still. And then when things don't go your way, you learn about it. You go, what was I thinking? What was I doing at the time? And then you practice even more. That's what's so key. Florence Scovel Shinn, who we taught last month, she called this formless substance, she called it the superconsciousness. And when you connect to the superconsciousness, your subconscious will then impress yourself, impress your life with whatever you desire. What does this mean? You plug in to what you desire is our life's work. Your life's work is to expand. Your life's work is to grow. Your life work is to get amazingly joyous, happy, rich, successful, and help everyone you can. Because success on your own isn't success. Collecting toys just to collect toys, that's not a real meaningful existence. But you were meant to be rich. Really. You were meant to be abundant. You were meant to be healthy. You were meant to be happy. There is not a God, a source, a universe out there, anything that wants you to be unhappy, that wants you to pay for anything, that wants you to be miserable, that wants you to be poor. That is simply where we've placed our consciousness. Switch your consciousness, and you will switch your life. So, with that said, let's see if there's anything else I was going to cover. I've been doing my best not to look at my notes. With that said, you want to get this dialed. Come join us for the next 4 Wednesdays in a row. I'll be teaching the science of getting rich. I'll be teaching from Wallace Wattles. People can share here how much these classes have been changing their lives. You get the entire Napoleon Hill collection, entire Neville Goddard collection, entire Florence Scovel Shinn collection for $7 total. Stay with us. It's $28 a month. Stop. It was $7. Again, 28 to continue, but it's class after class after class of goodness. But try it out for $7. You've got nothing to lose. In fact, this science of getting rich is going to be, I can already feel it, my favorite one of the bunch so far. And I love Napoleon Hill. And when he first came in, when I started channeling him 3 months ago, I was blown away. I love Neville Goddard. He's like my homie. Florence Scovel Shinn, absolutely amazing. And when she started writing to me and she's like, "Hi, Michael," I'm like, "Oh my God." I don't have it here with me. This is the second class YouTube event that I don't have my book, the automatic writing experience. But I actually can teach you how to channel the masters. I can teach you how to channel loved ones on the other side. I can teach you how to connect with your angels. We've had the #1 spirit and angels and spirit guide book in the world on Amazon. It's called the Automatic Writing Experience. You can find out about it at automaticwriting.com. But I've used those techniques to channel the masters. And so I will be channeling Wallace Wattles this coming Wednesday on the science of getting rich and would love you to join me. I can't think of a single reason not to do it. It's pre-recorded if you can't make it. It's $7. I am sure you will get more than $7 of benefit and wealth-producing knowledge out of it. You're going to be with homies who are going to help raise your vibration up. You'll be with Jessica and myself who are going to raise your vibration up to a completely new level. And you get group intention setting meditations, which the science has shown that when a group of people come together with a focus on one specific intent, it 10x's, it 100. Join me. I do wonder if Jessica is dressed warmly enough for this. It's cold. Do you want to wear my jacket for a little bit? People would love to see you. I know people would love to see you. You going for it? I get started. So we can tell who's the boss. And that is the Jessica, also known as Pookie or the Pook Star. All right. Question from last Sunday's live regarding the blessed boo-boo with the truck. I don't pick your videos live as the time difference is difficult for me in the UK, so I can't ask in real time. I am saying this with love, not criticism, but the boo-boo, why look so deep? Couldn't it just been a human misjudgment? Are you saying that even if we tripped at home, there was a reason? Surely some accidents just happen. I understand the accidents you had as a result of a near-death experience happened for a reason, but I hate to go through my experience examining everything as I'm sure I would get confused. So, on some level, accidents just happen. On some level, there's a meaning before it. And I tripped across a little bit of that meaning while I was giving this talk here this evening, which is when the truck was being connected to the RV, the person who connected it thought it was connected and had me back up, and it fell on the RV. It fell on the truck. And I was just the driver at this time. The two lessons that came out of it was, first off, it would have behooved me to get out and look and check myself. And when things are really important, to get out and check yourself. That's the first part. The second part is my back was in a lot of pain because I had helped lift this 280-pound hitch, and I wasn't ready to do so. And I was focused on that. Had I been focused on the hitch and a positive outcome, I would have stopped, paused, and said, wait, I know you say it's good, but I want to take a look. Or I was looking in the manual and I saw such and such myself. In other words, I took my eye off of the ball. I get to work on that. I was focused on the ow, 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 rather than the wow, wow, wow. I could have taken a moment and said, thank you for this connection. Thank you for this. Thank you for this. Wait, let me check. Let me go still. But instead, my back was bothering me at that moment. Certainly, there are spiritual lessons having to do with the back that I'm working on now as well, because my back has always been my governor. It's been my greatest gift. Lots of greatest gifts. So at this level of the game, I believe there is tremendous meaning, and it's worth diving into, but not picking on myself for. That's where things get interesting. In the past, I really would have picked on myself. Now I'm not, although there's still an element of me that wishes I could roll back time so I didn't have a little blessed boo-boo on the truck within the first 24 hours of getting the truck. All right. Tammy, will you be coming through Albuquerque on your tour? I don't believe so, Tammy, on the first leg of the tour. We were talking about whether we would try to get down into New Mexico and meet with Greg Braden. My guess is we're going to want to do that more on air. It looks like we're going to be doing a northern loop. So far, Tammy, it looks like we're going to head from here to the West Coast, up the West Coast, to the Northwest, very briefly, over to Montana, down to Colorado, up to South Dakota, over through Great Lakes, probably Wisconsin, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, or Minnesota, Wisconsin, around the bay to Michigan and over to probably upstate New York and then down to New Jersey. That's my initial feel. However, Tammy, we remain open. And so we are open to see what comes up. So, Pookstar, are you coming? Do you
want me to read the questions to you?
I want you to sit by my side because people love you even more than they love me. I do.
There's no chair.
There's no chair.
Are you sharing one chair?
I believe you would prefer it if we had a second chair. Okay. Here, why don't you put the computer here? Let's make room for the computer here. And then we can go, we being you. No. No,
you're not allowed to move.
I'm not moving.
The equipment.
I am simply working on making sure that we have two laptops here. I will focus here. All right. From Sherry, Michael and Jessica could be a start of every call to pray together for everyone to heal themselves physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. I believe so. I'd like to see how that works out. Now, we will have a meditation in just a little bit, and we can certainly work on everybody healing and coming together physically, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. To do something at the beginning, though, could be kind of interesting. So I want to feel into that. I love the concept. I love the idea. Dharma Cohen, does the fact that I am watching you affect the positive outcome? Yes, on many levels. So there is certainly an observer effect by you watching, certainly. There's an observer effect on us. There's an observer effect on you. And your outcome will be amplified. If you come into the show and you say, I'm coming to the show to have my vibration raised, your vibration is going to be raised. I'm coming to the show because I'm going to get to manifest better. You will begin manifesting better. Anything I can do to help here, Pookstar? I can almost move things over, but you're good?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Oh, the dictionary has come up. What has the dictionary brought up? The dictionary has brought up the determiner, denoting one or more people or things already mentioned or assumed to be common knowledge. Used to point forward to a following, qualifying, or defining cause or phrase. In other words, what it just brought up is a manifesting term. How does it get any better than this? Yolanda. Oh, I love you, Yolanda. I'm in a potentially life-changing situation with possible devastating consequences, and the terror won't leave me. How do I successfully visualize under these circumstances without time on my side? I think we start to change the sentence. We start to change the expression, Yolanda. If we understand we are infinite beings having a human existence, that on some level, time is always on our sides. If we understand that everything is potentially here to serve us, then the possible devastating consequences means simply a life-changing situation, as you call it. So what we get to do, to me, is cast the burden to the universe and do our best to call it, label it, play with it being something else. So incredibly important. What other label can we give this? I don't know why I'm thinking of a person who's going to jail. And if they can label it as, this is going to be the most tremendously amazing, awesome event of my life, then the most horrific circumstance may become the most tremendous, awesome, life-changing event in their life. And I'm not comparing your circumstance to that. What I'm saying is the label in many ways dictates the outcome.
The camera's getting confused with me being there. It's blurry.
Okay, what can we do about that?
I don't know.
Well, one thing we could do, if we wanted to wing it.
I think you're too off. You're too far off to the side.
Okay, because what I was going to say is we could go both sit inside now, if that was a possibility.
I think if we just sit closer,
All right, we could do that as well.
should be better.
So,
Without killing the equipment.
so Yolanda, my big takeaway here for you is to cast it to the angels, cast it to the universe. And to know without any visible reason for knowing why, that's something Wallace Wattles is always talking about. Know without any visible reason for knowing why. It's actually called the law of invisibility, Yolanda. I didn't get there tonight. It's in my notes. Law of invisibility means that you do not need to see a visible outcome coming for something special to come true. You get to know something special will come out of it, and something special will come true. Whether today, tomorrow, or 10 years in the future, it will come true. That's where we get to play. You're being challenged, Yolanda, to play the highest level game. And if anybody else here tonight is being challenged in ways similar or different than Yolanda is, you are being challenged to play the highest level energetic game you can. Focus on the golden bunnies rather than the saber-toothed rabid jackrabbits.
What?
I don't know. So, is that the image right now?
No, that was earlier.
Okay. I won't look. It looked like I was frozen.
You're not wearing a jacket here.
That's true. That'd be amazing. So, do you have anything?
Okay, so it's really blurry.
Mm-hmm. So, I think we go inside.
Okay.
I think we go inside. So, we're going to do this. We are going to go inside and we are going to make this. Are these the two chairs from inside or no? There are two.
No, we have more chairs.
Okay, so we need the camera. We need this. We're going to make this work, everybody. I am super positive about this. So stay with us as we change. I'm looking at what do I need to carry. So you're going to carry that. Excellent. And do I just, okay, so now that comes with this. I'm going to unplug power and hold on to everything else. So I've got the laptop. I've got the microphone cable. I've got the microphone. I'm checking and I'm not attached to anything else. You're attached to a power supply. I'm going to detach the power supply briefly. There we go. I think we are disconnected from all power sources. Oh, you're wanting me to walk past you and to walk backwards? You are.
Don't hurt yourself.
You're challenging me in many ways. Okay, we're good here. We're sitting down. We're still live. We're still going. We're still got the light shining on us. And we get to turn on all the lights in here. Do you know the all light button yet?
No.
Should I do that or would you like to do that?
Well, since I don't know where it is, I think it's best that you do it.
All right. Do you want to put your smiley face on camera before I do that? Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us.
I'm just going to rotate the camera and follow you.
You're going to rotate the camera and follow me. And then we get to do some power supply. But okay, here we go. We're coming up. We're going. Here we go.
What's with the slow motion?
Press this button here. Go from the leveler to the home page. Home page here. There is home. And on home, there is a button. Let's go home. There's no place like home. And on home, there's a button that says, turn on all lights. Ooh. Now, as long as I'm up, can I boogie for the power supply?
Sure.
I'll be off camera for one brief second. Woo!
Uh-oh. All right.
Coming back. No, I'm not even going to disconnect. Hey! That didn't work quite as expected. Router, that's an important one. Power supply, very good.
Are we still live?
I hope we're still live. I don't know if we're still live because I let go of the router. Are we still live? I have no idea. How do I know? Yes. Yes, you are. Excellent. And somebody is still here watching. So this is good. All right. We are almost set back up. And then we will have Jessica on camera. And my guess is the numbers will rebound at this time as well. All right. And hopefully everybody has taken this time to sign up for our class on Wednesday. Okay, we've got power. Hey! And we need power to the camera. I love these learnings.
What are you learning?
Well, we learned that we need much better lighting at this time of day outside, if we're outside.
Oh,
or
ordinarily we do have our lighting, but we don't want to break down our studio yet.
Might be time. All right. And then would you like to come join me over here?
After I finish setting up this camera.
Okay, I want to see if I can put this down here, and then let's take more questions. I think everything is plugged in, except for that. Is there enough light? There was last time.
It's better with this light.
It's better with that
Where
light.
is that? Is it to be?
It has a short plug. There is an extension cord in the other room, if you wish to get that. And I'm going to start taking questions from people while you go to get that extension cord. And here we go. So let's see what questions we have here. Colleen, how do I attract privacy to my backyard? It's a two-step dance, Colleen. The first step is to envision it and feel the privacy. What does that state feel like? That's what you want to do. And then as you're feeling into that state and playing in that state of, oh, thank God I have some privacy. This feels so good. This feels so great. This feels so easy. Then you start to look for anything that comes up, any visions that pop into your consciousness that help you determine the next step if it hasn't already been taken care of by the universe. Because that's the law of invisibility. We didn't know how the RV was going to come about, but when we put ourselves in the state of it having come about, that itself brought it. So your biggest job, Colleen, is to get yourself into that state. All right. Come join me. And should I put this on so that I can see what we look like? Wow, I'm watching myself at 10 times speed. Next question. And there we go. I guess that's not live, but it is we rent it out so much that it needs to recharge first.
All right.
That's not live that we're looking at there, but you could flip that and we could then see.
Okay.
Then we can see. And I'm going to pause that there. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient with us tonight. It looks a little crooked.
It is crooked.
Well, that would be why it looks a little crooked. I hope everybody is having fun. How do we navigate momentum versus needing time to pause and charge? Universe will handle. So, okay, how do we handle navigating momentum? It really depends what the momentum is about. I would certainly encourage you at this time to breathe more slowly and move more slowly. Vibration going up, but find a way to build pause into your day, to build pause into your life. And Jessica's working on the camera now. Is something I was thinking about on a run a couple days ago, where and might I recommend tightening the black piece might help.
I did.
Okay. You know that tripod even better than me at this point. I was listening to a song a couple of days ago that was saying, what if we only have so many breaths in our lives? And when the breaths are gone, we are gone. And what that got me thinking is, well, then we get to breathe more slowly. And there is some truth to that. Truth to, for instance, when I teach running or cycling, how can I get people to slow down their breath? When I teach people to meditate, it's about how can we slow down our breath? And so that's my encouragement for you, K555D, is how can we slow down your breath? Laura, what do you do to stay in this positive mode when negativity tests us? Laura, I mentioned this blessed boo-boo with the truck. My mind keeps wanting to go back to that. And I keep on having to cast it out, give it to spirit, give it to the angels, and bring myself back. And so that's been my greatest teacher at the moment. Certainly not one that I chose. And so what it means is acknowledge why you're feeling a certain way. Acknowledge what that means to you. I'm hurting. I'm suffering. I'm struggling. I'm in pain. I'm going to ask Jessica, if you open the light up on the curtain on the door, that's going to let a little bit more light in at sunset too. You have to open the door without the screen. Yeah. So we're learning about lighting. Acknowledge how and what you're feeling, but then simply do not dwell on it. Acknowledge it, feel it, write about it. We can certainly learn from it. And then we get to let it go. And then it comes back and we do the same thing over and over again. But what happens is it gets easier and easier until we become more and more resilient. So even the bigger things start to feel much lighter. It doesn't mean that everything goes away. It doesn't mean that somebody gets hurt or injured or loses a job and all of a sudden you're like, woohoo! It'd be great if it was that way. And there's some people who it can be that way. I think I've seen one or two people who are going, wow, that's awesome about everything. And I talk about the awesomeness of everything, but it is sometimes difficult to embody. So what we do is simply bring ourselves back and bring ourselves back and bring ourselves back. Edward, how near to Vermont are you going to be? I am so wanting to get you on camera now. We are almost there, although 10 minutes ago was when she flipped this and it did its funny thing. All right. I'm going to let you answer this question.
How close are we going to go?
I've spoken enough.
We're going to be in Vermont.
Oh. Tell us more.
We're just going to be near Vermont. Vermont's one of our favorite states, right?
Yes. Well, you asked that like you were, what's he gonna
My
say?
favorite trails. It was
Oh,
called like the mailbox run or
yes,
something.
by Burlington,
And
Vermont.
what are you doing?
I'm trying to put the microphone near you. Is that better?
Okay.
Or is that take away some of the cute factor
No,
with
no,
us being?
it's fine.
Okay.
There's a trail, I think it was called the Postal Run or the Mailbox Run. Must have been Postal. And there were literally mailboxes along the side of this trail, like single track. And it's probably like a really popular mountain biking trail, but I love running.
I'm looking it up to
Trails
see
that
if
are
I
meant
can
for mountain bikes.
find it right now, because it just rolled, and it was this loop where there are times and places where I can keep up with you. That is not the time and the place. Oh my God, you just flew on that thing.
So Michael's like a locomotive, and he's really great at running straight up mountains. I don't really find joy in that. So if there's a trail that's just if it's flat or if it's just kind of like rolling hills, I'm really good at speeding up and slowing down and speeding up again.
You love breaking me. You love to break me. I'm going at this good pace. I mean, we're really pushing it. And then you'll just pick it up just a little bit, and I'll be like, and then you'll slow down a little bit. And then you'll pick it up again. And by about the third time, you've crushed me. And you love it. She's not going to disagree with that.
Colleen likes running down mountains. I also love running down mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind if there was like some, like a conveyor belt thing or like a, roller coaster ride where it's just, it just kind of ticks you up the mountain. And then I got off at the top and ran down.
I had real fun. We were traveling, or I was traveling this past week, running where it wasn't sand and hard earth.
Mm-hmm.
I found I was much faster and much more motivated, shall we say.
It's hard running in sand.
It is. Builds you stronger. Next question. Next question is, can Michael laugh and Jessica giggle? I don't know what to do on that one.
Are you going in order?
Well, yes. I answered Laura's question.
Oh.
And now
then where's the Vermont question?
Right here.
Oh, there, okay.
There.
I see. Two questions. Edward's got 2 for 1 questions.
Mm-hmm. And then
okay.
No.
What?
Oh, I got a leather jacket on, so I'm protected.
No, you're not. There.
Centered, grounded. Thank you.
I can't really make myself go okay again.
You just did.
Yes, I didn't think I could. Okay. Next question.
What happens when you manifest so many things you wish it will slow down? Jane, it depends. Are we talking about you're manifesting things that you're not wanting, in which case let's stop blaming ourselves? Because life happens and it's a learning. If you're manifesting all goodness, I'm not sure we'd want it to slow down. Would you? That's the flow line.
No. So, maybe she is talking about manifesting things that one does not want.
Yeah. And that's one of the challenges of this teaching.
Don't go out the window.
Everything okay in our brand new RV? One of the challenges of this teaching, I'm trying to get my jacket off because you're warm.
Do you need help?
Yes.
Okay. You answer the question. I will undress you.
We're not even going there. One of the challenges with the teachings of the science of manifestation is we start to blame ourselves for things. And nothing good can ever come out of blaming ourselves. That is a very low vibration frequency. And that is certainly the law of contraction in action. So when you said this thing goes wrong, that thing goes wrong, the other thing goes wrong, first off, everything taking place now has nothing to do with now. It has everything to do with what took place before. In other words, there is a lag time to creation. And so you can look around at your life. We can look around at this amazing RV and say, wow, we've been doing some cool stuff over the last few years, haven't we?
Uh-huh.
And if something is not working out, you can say, wow, I had some challenges in the past, didn't I? But that's not where I'm at today. And you can flip back into that present moment. That's where the sweetness comes from. That's where the big positive changes can take place. So don't worry and do not judge with everything that you've got. Do not judge yourself for anything that's taken place up to now, this very moment, because that is representative of where you were. If it was even your fault, there's no such thing as fault. If it even had something to do with you, understand really what karma is about. First off, take care of others, say kind things, do good actions. But what's going on is you are getting the most amazing lessons for your highest good. And often they don't correlate to what you're doing in the moment. You can do everything, quote, right, and still have tragedy befall you. It doesn't mean it's your fault. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. Next question. And keep the questions going, and then we're going to dive into a meditation.
Is goodness due to pandemic unemployment things? I didn't ask for it, but it was a blessing, and I'm grateful, but some other people need some of these blessings more than me.
Jane, what you do then is keep raising your vibration up, because as you raise your vibration up, that helps bring others up, and then ask, how can I serve? How can I serve? How can I give back? That's the best thing that we can do. For instance, if we're like, oh, we've got ourselves our super RV, we've got our dream home, we've got our this, we've got our that, look at us, we're great. Yikes. But if we said, wow, we get to travel around, we get to help others, we get to share the love, we get to share the joy, we get to share the abundance, we get to share. Now you're talking. Now you're in that sacred flow zone. So do that, Jane. Paula, why does it seem that those who are experiencing trauma or hardship in life get angry when you mention law of attraction, how it works? Paula, one of the key reasons is that people are telling them, see, it's because you attracted this. That's not going to help anybody, for one thing. For another thing, there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. You know, I'm racing bicycles in Europe. I'm trying to make it to the Tour de France. Did I really attract the safety official weaving me through the turn into an oncoming car? Was I really?
On some level, yes.
Okay.
But that's...
Give me more.
Wouldn't you say so? That your higher self?
Well, but that's not attracting. That is spirit, me, on the other side, that said, I want you to go down this road following your dreams, and then we are going to cut it off deliberately as most dramatically as we can so that you can learn something incredible for it. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean when I think attracting, that might not be what you mean.
Okay. Well, I mean, like co-created.
Yes.
But nobody, if they're new to this material, nobody wants to hear that I brought this upon myself. Like, why would I bring war or famine or whatever to myself? That's going to be really difficult to hear.
And when you say, or like a child, a child who has cancer at 2-3 years of age, a child who gets killed or burned or something, going, geez, they manifested this. No, there is a soul plan at work. And it may be that their soul journey was to be a hero for you this lifetime, for their own growth as well. And so it's sort of like the mirror. Object and mirror are not as they appear to be. And so judgment, everything, judgment, neither good nor bad, gets us in a lot of trouble. Although I like to say good or better. But saying this is good, that is bad, produces a level of duality that gets us stuck and in pain. And that's what those people are experiencing. I don't want to hear about law of attraction because now you're blaming me, which doesn't help. Brilliant question. Leanne, do you want to read it?
I finally caught you both live. I've been wondering the difference between shamanic journeying and awe.
Brilliant question, Leanne. In essence, shamanic journeying taps into the same field, to the same spirit, shamanic journeying can have a specific spirit, animal, or guide, but it's tapping into the same stuff. The difference between automatic writing and shamanic journeying is you get to journal it all down and have you can have discourse in shamanic journeying. You get a very easy way to tap in daily. Now, you could do a shamanic journey each day and then jot down notes afterwards. That's pretty awesome as well. All is just a very clean and easy way to tap into your spirit guides.
Next question from Janice. What if you don't like space capsules because they are so small, Michael?
Oh, brilliant question, Janice.
Well, could be a spaceship instead of a space capsule.
Absolutely. Could be a hot air balloon.
A space station.
Space station. I was thinking of that one too. Could be a...
Why do you call it a space capsule?
I call it a space capsule because it's a very controlled environment. In a space capsule, you watch people go on the little plank to go to the space capsule. They give their last drink of water, whatever. They give their stuff to the people. And then they take one step in, then the other, and then they close the capsule behind them. And nothing that's not essential comes in with them. And then it's very quiet.
So it's metaphorical. It doesn't have to be that they're visualizing themselves in a tiny little space capsule.
Yes.
Although it might help some people to visualize it that way.
Absolutely. It's a controlled environment of your liking, of your size. It could be in, like we played in a hot air balloon turned sideways, where you're walking inside of the balloon. That's pretty spacious and colorful, isn't it? It can be anything. It could be, instead of a space capsule, a giant green field, a meadow with sunflowers. It could be a sunflower meadow, but it's your controlled sunflower. And when you step into the sunflower meadow, you leave all of the junk behind. It's not allowed in your sunflower meadow.
Would you say that whatever you choose, it's useful to go to that same visualization? So if it's a sunflower meadow, it's a sunflower meadow the next time you go through the process of entering the metaphorical space capsule.
I'm so glad you asked, because it has an imprint of your energy in it. And having to do with momentum, all hail King Mo, it builds more energy and more energy the more you imprint the special sacred place. So in the past, for peace, for ease, my place to go to was sailing in Penobscot Bay. On a inflatable air mattress, being pulled behind a sailboat, and just to lay down there and be. That was my place for many years. That changed when we went to Greenwood Lake, New York, because one day we were on a little bit of the AT. I remember sitting at sunset, and it was like this carpet. It was like October or September, this carpet of color. And just the two of us sitting over the mountains. And that became a sacred place to create. And so pick a sacred place.
Because you're rewiring your mind, right? You're training your mind to get into that state, that brainwave state. What can you speak a little bit more about what's happening in the brain?
Well, your brain is doing several things. First off, you're getting into, it could be a theta brainwave state, which is a state of creativity, a state of a high level of plugged innedness with the universe, a state where the brain actually dials down parts like the frontal lobe, the executive functions, thinking about time, thinking about what needs to be done, thinking about where I need to go. It also dials down the parietal lobe, having to do with I, me, my, the egoic part of the brain. And studies get to back this up, but we already know that things like your third eye start to open up. Your pineal gland starts to open up. That's the expansiveness. And that starts to get going. On top of that, you start to get a sense of dopamine, of serotonin, of these feel-good hormones. And so, for instance, what's your favorite? If I took you to Disney World, is there a favorite food that you'd like to eat?
At Disney World?
Okay, at a fair,
it's not
at a
really
park.
known for good food. High-priced food.
You started to smile. What was the thing that was making you smile when I said Disneyland?
Oh, I just thought it was funny that you said Disneyland because I was listening to this. I was listening to Jim Gaffigan talking about weird couples that go to Disney World without children.
And that'd probably be us. So where I'm going is, all right. Is there a favorite food
Lasagna.
that you experience with your family or at a gathering?
Yes.
All right. Now tell me about that.
They're tiny little dumplings
Mhm.
that have like soup inside of them.
Ooh. Okay.
And
So soup dumplings, and I'm
Yes.
going to sneeze here in a minute. This happened last night too, or two nights.
they're called xiaolongbao.
Excuse me. Can't really get off camera. There we go. All right, so I'm going to butcher it. I'm going to call these Shaolin balls.
Shaolin balls.
They're like the Shaolin monks. Shaolin balls. All right. And when you think of the Shaolin balls, how does it make you feel? You get what I'm saying.
I know, but the words, what you said, the meaning is completely different from what I said. Okay. What happens?
How do you feel?
Comforted.
Okay. So if I take you to that place and to that experience in your mind's eye, you feel comforted.
Yeah.
You feel good. You feel happy.
I start salivating.
Aww. And so we can go to these places where we feel good, where we feel comforted, okay, where you feel salivated.
If we play this out long enough, though, then I'm gonna be like, well, I don't really have any.
Oh no! And that brings us to Colorado last year, where you had the what do they call it?
But then I'm gonna have to stop those thoughts, clear those out, because I'm just gonna be dwelling on the lack, and I'll never manifest them if I'm just.
What was the crisis you had last year? It was the dumpling crisis.
I think it was just the lack of Chinese food.
Yeah.
I was pregnant and I wanted Chinese food, and there was none in the valley that we were living in. And I started crying because of how sad it was that there was no good Chinese food.
Rest assured.
And no parents around to cook me Chinese food.
So the key point here is in your space capsule, whatever it is to you, you can imprint goodness. You can imprint all the dumplings you want or the Shaolin balls.
This would be a fun exercise. I should go into my space capsule and just like picture mountains of dumplings and see what happens.
All right.
I'm seeing like a scene from Kung Fu Panda.
I like that. I like that very much. Next question.
Did we answer that question?
I have no idea, but we're just going to move right along. From Natasha. I have a van. I could keep it or sell it. Been asking for signs and trying to manifest a solution. I could do either. Seem to have gotten signs or both options. How do I know what's the right choice? Go to stop trying, Natasha, and start feeling. That's my recommendation. Feel into it. Go into your space capsule and feel how it feels to have it. Feel how it feels to keep it.
That's an interesting beep.
Is that a sign?
Is that the fridge?
I think that's the
fridge. I will
fridge.
go investigate what the refrigerator is trying to
tell us. Oh my gosh,
us.
we just got from Paulina a
Thank
beautiful
you, Paulina.
donation. How does it
back.
get any better than this? So what we want you to do, Natasha.
And to feel with your heart.
Can you say more for a second, even though you've got an alarm to take care of?
Well, all of the answers that you need in life are accessible through your heart. It's just a matter of training yourself to feel into it. And
so I wish I could check that for a minute. Maybe we just let it beep for a minute. I'm sure everything will be okay. But this has been an exercise that you've been doing a lot lately. Is what have you been saying, and then what do you do?
What have I been? Not sure what I've been saying.
Well, let's say a situation comes up. An opportunity to do A or B, to buy A or B, to whatever A or B. You?
Well, So we were looking for a new executive assistant for you,
Mhm.
and we're using a platform called Upwork.
Yep.
And you posted a job posting, and we got a bunch of applications.
Mhm.
And before reading anything about each person, I'd look at their profile, their tiny, tiny, tiny little like avatar picture, and I'd feel into my heart. And I eliminated people that way.
Which, and it sounds strange, but is pretty awesome that you felt into it.
Mm-hmm. And the first round, I narrowed it down to 2 people, and turned out that one almost worked, but not quite. And then the second round, it was super easy. So not sure of any exact words
That's fine.
or questions I asked.
I believe we blew the fuse.
Oh.
That the power source
How
over
did
there.
we do that with our? I'm not even plugged in.
No, but that's my guess. So I'm guessing you're going to go over there and it's going to say like PWR.
I'm okay.
So let's do a quick check. And if so, that's all right. We've got plenty of, we do run on solar here as well during daytime hours. So we've got plenty. Yep. So the power went out. It's kind of peaceful, isn't it? A place of no mind. I like it.
Next question.
From Lisa Buckner. Hi, Lisa. Question. I may have a soul journey. I may have a soul journey and choose to suffer here, but I want the suffering to stop now. Best ways for radical change, please. So, Lisa, I've got a couple ideas and I want to see what Jessica has. Do you want to go first?
I didn't hear you reading the question because I was reading the chat.
I may have a soul journey and choose to suffer here, but I want the suffering to stop now. Best ways for radical change, please.
I want to think about that one.
Okay.
We'll see what comes up.
And for myself, I would say a couple of things. First off, start going to your space capsule, which we've been teaching about on Wednesdays, and start envisioning a journey that you do desire, how you do want to feel. We don't have to have any specifics. Get yourself into the feeling state of what you would like. If you're like, I haven't even experienced that recently, see if you can go back even to your earliest days to a joyous experience, a joyous time, a peaceful time, and anchor in that. The second piece is you can literally, I would go into automatic writing, or I would make it a ceremony, and you can literally burn incense if it's safe to do so, have some music, have some candles, make this an experience, wave some Palo Santo to clear out the air, and I would write a new contract with the universe. Here is what I want. Here is what I will do. I will be loving. I'll be kind. I'll be joyous. I'll help others. It doesn't have to be this martyring yourself. Please, that's not, the universe is not about martyring. But make a new soul contract where you say, I would like life now to be kind, gentle, easy, good. That's my line that came out of my soul negotiated contract where I just kept on breaking shit. I would like life to be kind, gentle, easy, good. And I think I've successfully rewritten my contract. There are still occasional bumps in the road where universe wants to nudge me a little bit, but you can rewrite your soul contract.
You have a really great exercise. I forget what it's called, but I think you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. I've experienced many times in my life where I will start saying things like, I hate my life. This sucks. I hate the work that I have to do, blah, blah, blah. And I just keep focusing like on how much I hate how my life is going. And I'm not sure if that's something that you're doing, if you're thinking, I hate all this suffering. My life is full of suffering. The important thing is when you catch yourself saying those things is to stop and flip it. And I think it's called
You've already got it. I know it's
something antidote exercise.
Dwelling antidote exercise.
Can you explain that?
So it is, you have a dwelling. And the dwelling, for instance, I boo-booed the truck, I boo-booed the truck, I boo-booed the truck. Well, that's not going to bring about any goodness. It's a blessed boo-boo. Goodness is coming out of it. It's a blessed boo-boo. Goodness is coming out. Greatness is coming out. Something amazing is coming out of it. I can see something incredible coming out of it. And to draw my attention back from the dwelling to something positive. Or you see an individual and you're like, God, I can't. I send them love. I send them love.
And isn't it more than just switching it to something positive? Is it switching it to a positive action that you can take to start changing the situation?
Absolutely a great way to go. So we have the dwelling. Oh my God, I can't stand XYZ. And every time I think I can't stand XYZ, I will do pi or whatever it is. And so we have linked up the two of those things. So for instance, each time you say, oh my God, my back is killing me, you do 10 push-ups. You actually link to that negative, and what happens is the negative becomes a blessing. I love it. Thank you.
Cool exercise.
All right, Arlene. Oh, I just want to give her a big hug. So when I lost our first baby, I was very bitter. Why did things like this happen to have our baby die 6 weeks old? Do you want to go there? Or do you want me to go there?
You first. It usually takes me longer for the answer to bubble up.
So Arlene, my best guess is that your first baby came in on a rescue mission for you, for your husband, and for the baby, to help the baby, who is not a baby in spirit form, to grow and to expand, to help both of you to be knocked to your knees, completely have the wind knocked out of you. We've had 3 miscarriages. We have not had the same experience that you have had. But to be knocked to your knees, to then learn and grow and find a more powerful, expansive place. I have to look infinite for this. And my knowingness knows, another way to put that we are infinite divine beings having a human existence. It doesn't mean the loss doesn't hurt. Like, I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. But to know that much more is going on than meets the eye for your baby's highest good, and baby is fine on the other side. Baby is flying free, and for your highest good. It doesn't mean that we go, oh, life is good. Grief is grief. It's real. It hurts. But if you can link to the something is happening here that's more than meet the eye, then it completely changes the tenor. It completely changes the energy behind it. And that may be the exact reason or part of the reason that this occurred. And nobody did anything wrong. And this wasn't done because this was done or that was done, or you thought this or you didn't thought this. Nothing could be further from the truth. This was ordained, meaning written in the stars for your highest good and for your baby's highest good as well. With that said, everything we've heard from every single NDE says you will certainly see your baby on the other side, and you can actually connect with them now.
You want me to say something?
You don't have to.
I had a few thoughts. I think one of them escaped me. I know for me, with each miscarriage, it cracked my heart open even more than ever before. And that cracking open initially was for grief, but it also expanded my ability to love even more. So I don't know if that happens to everybody, but that was my experience.
Thank you. And thank you, Arlene, for sharing.
And also, I don't remember, we've talked to so many different mediums about the miscarriages, and I know one of them said, you know, they just wanted to come in for that short period of time, for that specific experience of being close with me and experiencing that that love and that nurturing feeling for only that brief amount of time. I don't know why, but that's all that they required.
And spirit doesn't see time the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And so to them, that can be an infinite amount of time. For us, it's X amount of weeks or X amount of gestation plus 6 weeks. But to baby spirit, that could be a lifetime's worth.
It's true. I mean, when you're a kid and you're waiting for your birthday or the vacation or whatever, and your parents tell you it's a week away, you're like, oh my gosh, that's like an eternity. Right? Because
now blink. 4 weeks from now, we'll be on the road. That's yesterday. Thank you, Arlene, for sharing. We send all our love your way. Stay tuned, everybody. Very shortly, I'm gonna see if we can get through these questions, and then we will get into a beautiful, beautiful manifestation meditation here. JJ, been deeply into law of attraction, deeper teachings for long ago, and thought it feels unnatural, forced to be guiding thoughts, emotions.
For a long time,
and thought it feels unnatural, forced to be guiding thoughts, emotions. I wonder if it's fiddling with the symptom when we should be addressing the cause. In other words, A Course in Miracles. Well, JJ, let's put both of these together. Let's not force the thoughts or emotions. Let's feel the thoughts and emotions. Let's link in. Course in Miracles, love versus fear, for example. Let's get into that state of love. Let's play with the state first. So this amazing RV, I'm calling it a super RV, Grace, it's about the feeling state that it brings us, the freedom, the joy, the travel. It's not about, I need it to be blah, 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 blah. It's nice to have preferences, but it's really about the emotional state, JJ. That's where we get to play. And I believe love, source, universe, God, whatever we want to call it, pulls these tugs on our hearts to get us into flow and into alignment with the universe, not so that we're going with a thinking mind and going, well, we really wanted to be this. It's the exact opposite of that. You look slightly disturbed by what I was saying there.
No, I'm not. It's just hard to read the questions through the microphone.
How's that?
Okay.
Did you want to add anything to that?
I didn't quite understand the question. That's the look I gave you.
I think what JJ is saying here is it doesn't feel right to say, I want X, Y, Z, and that will make me happy.
Ah, okay.
And that's going for the symptom rather than the cause.
Gotcha. Right. And you probably said something along the lines of the happiness, that joy, that elevated emotion comes first, and that draws in.
That's actually called the law of reversibility.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. That draws in the state, but it also means that we're not as attached to the outcome. Even though we really wanted the RV, it was the state that was most important.
And we also leave it open-ended too. We always say, or something better, because in our little minds, mm-hmm. which are limited in what they will desire, when we say or something better, then we're opening up to the universe giving us something that we would have never imagined on our own.
Love it. I have a slightly tangential point coming off of that, which is a lot of people get confused with spirituality and poverty. Mm-hmm. In that they feel that I'm not supposed to create. I'm not supposed to want anything here. And I think that's actually backwards. We are physical beings with physical needs and with a physical ability to create that an angel can't. An angel can usher us along, but the angel cannot use his or her wings to create a bridge, for instance. We are here in these physical bodies, incarnate, to actually use them and to be in the creative process and to learn from the earth school. So to say, well, I'm spiritual, I shouldn't have money, I shouldn't focus on that. No, focus on that. Use your money to do a lot of good. Attract a lot of money into your life. I'm spiritual, so I shouldn't concentrate on having a nice house or a nice car or a nice this or a nice that. No, that's spiritual too. Create with everything that you've got, and that is not backwards. There is nothing wrong with wants, because you get to ask, where'd the want come from? Has this pull to be in an RV or to travel or explore the world, Peace Corps girl, been with us for a very long time?
Yeah, it's been a common theme throughout my life, for sure. It's interesting because I wasn't really attached to. I was actually hesitant to getting back into a tiny space and spending a lot of time on the road, because we've had some not so joyous experiences in the past
True.
doing that. But it felt more like a pull, like this is supposed to be the next step for us in order to reach more people and help more people and benefit more.
So, in other words, the pull, the wants at the end of the day, the strongest desires, to me, aren't coming from us. And so there's no judgment, period. But if we understand that that's divine, and that desire is divine, so who are we not to follow that pull? That's
I
how.
mean, I mentioned this last week. The last YouTube. Well, yeah. Was it Thursday or Friday? I don't know.
It's a blur. It was Thursday, but it's a blur.
like being on camera for me. I didn't sit in my space capsule going, someday I want to be on camera talking to people about my life and maybe sharing some wisdom, because I'm not even certain I have wisdom. I've got that. What? Yes. There's the big me that knows and the little me that's not so sure.
Yep.
But there's this greater pull. And I guess what I'm saying is, I think at some point during your spiritual path, you reach a point where you go from the little me wants to the bigger me wants, the higher self wants, that the little me might not necessarily want that much, but eventually, instead of the little me calling the shots, the big me is calling the shots and sort of dragging the little me along until the little me just
surrenders into it.
Yeah.
And finds the joy in it.
There you go. Surrender. That makes life a lot easier.
I surrender. Oh my gosh, I can remember saying that in an RV a decade ago. And I wasn't actually.
No, you weren't really surrendering.
No, I was in that moment.
That was lip service.
But in the morning, I was like, no, I'll slay the dragons. Yeah. All right. Brilliant question. Anything more you wanted to add to that?
That was an example of some not so joyous experiences on the road.
Oh, yes.
He was laying in like a pile of broken glass because the RV had gotten broken into, and
those were the days.
Then you boo-booed a car, and anyway, that's the past.
I like the past. All right. Terry Ann Barton. How do you learn to visualize? I close my eyes and only see darkness or neon lights flashing. Terry, first off, the neon lights is kind of cool. Come join us for our master classes on Wednesday. Get the whole collection, because we talk about going into your space capsule, starting with Napoleon Hill, going on with Neville Goddard, with Florence Scovel-Shinn. This is one of the biggest things that we've been teaching. It is a practice. It does evolve slowly over time, because we were taught as children to stop daydreaming and get real. But actually, the realest things of real will come out of your daydreams. And so we get to teach you how to do that again. Anything you'd want to add to that? Lisa, I'm in a situation that I feel stuck, and it is going on far too long. I know I need to move, but it is very expensive by myself. How do I manifest a better future? Lisa, I would put myself in the state of what you desire rather than focusing on the expenses. Magic can come out of that state. So, how do you want to feel? Is it expansive? Is it free? Is it on your own? What does that feel like? And play with that state rather than this is going to be very expensive. How am I going to do this? That's where I would play.
I'd also question the belief that it will be very expensive by yourself. It could be a limiting belief. There could be a situation, a very unique, miraculous situation where it's not very expensive by yourself. Maybe it's an extra $100 or $200 more, but
or it could be you do this work and we experience this. Didn't we experience this when we ended up going to on our own down to Emerald Isle, North Carolina?
Mhm.
And it cost us approximately how much to be on our own in a vacation home?
Well, there was a mini step, but
Yeah.
after we got past the mini step,
Understood.
it was free.
Yeah. So, and that came out of our manifestation work, and it came out of, being in a burrito shack, basically going, we surrender. I give up trying to figure this out.
I literally said, surely there was somebody, not Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley.
Yes. There must be somebody out there who has this large piece of land, like a little ohana, a little guest house sitting on it that's just vacant, not being used, or somebody who has a vacation home that's not being used. And we got home, and was it a voicemail or an email?
I think it was an email.
An email in your inbox, specifically addressing this situation. And in that email, our angel friend wrote, I got an automatic writing that I'm supposed to offer you my vacation home.
That comes out of your manifestation work, and it comes out of your surrender, which goes hand in hand.
So you never know.
Even better, I would expect a better situation.
Well, you never know how it's going to come about.
Okay, totally agree. Totally agree. Excuse me.
That's like almost the definition of a miracle, is that it comes in the most unexpected way.
Always. All great experiences in life, I believe, come in ways that we didn't expect. Every single one of them. All right, take a few more questions here.
From another Lisa. What if my karma, also known as higher self, wants me to suffer to learn things? Same answer?
Lisa, I don't buy it. So in your higher self may have punctuation marks for you to learn, but your higher self never wants you to suffer. It may have a painful moment to awaken you or to steer you. But as the Buddhist expression goes, and I truly believe this, painful moments may be required in life for wake-up moments. Suffering is attachment. And the suffering, nobody, no spirit, no anything wants us to suffer. That is...
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's... I mean, we don't have a whole lot of information here, but it feels like it's a repetitive pattern, and the higher self doesn't want you to get stuck in a repetitive pattern and wants you to learn the lesson and move on. So it might just be that there's some memory or memories, emotions that are keeping you stuck that get to be cleared.
And so I would look at that. I would step back from that. I would play from that. I would lean into that. I would look at what these patterns are. I would even recruit assistance, which we get to do again for me as well. I do that with myself. I do that with clients. You do that with yourself. You do that with clients. And we could all use help at times to clear some of these patterns and see what we can learn from them.
Later tonight, I'm going to clear the experience of the truck getting boo-booed.
Yes. And we get to do that sooner than later so we can get a good night's sleep, because really early we are calling in magical assistance to get the tailgate on the truck open.
That would require ending this live soon.
It would. So, okay, we've got 2, maybe 3 more questions. Okay, Arlene, we'll definitely take Arlene's question. So 3 more questions, and we're calling it off there. Michael, or where does Michael stand on wanderers, souls from other planets or dimensions who have walked in on human lifetimes? Being an ET is the only thing that has explained me so far. Why not, Mark? ETs, whatever we want to call them, are spirits having a human existence or spirits having a whatever existence. It's all spirit. It's all good. Why not? And so if that's what you feel you are, Mark, awesome. Live it, experience it, enjoy it, be it, and still make the most of this lifetime with everything that you've got.
Ultimately, does it matter?
No, it's a label. Ultimately, it's energy being energy. Energy having a human existence, whatever we want to call it. We can say, well, I'm a Palladian, or I'm a whateverian, Arcturian, or anything. I think I was told I'm an Arcturian commander or something.
It's funny because I pictured that little cartoon. I don't even know what it was
P-74.
Did it have a green helmet?
I am here to blow up. No, now I'm going to Gomer Pyle in the Martian. Mars the Martian. Marvin the Martian. That's who it is. It was Marvin the Martian. P-44 explosive. Whatever. Sorry, guys. No, I'm stuck. But yes, you were picturing the Martian.
That's it.
Okay. Do you consider manifestation mental alchemy? Well, yeah, absolutely, Lisa. So alchemy is, to me, alchemy, of course, turning lead into gold, but to me, it's turning one frequency into another. So for instance, it's turning oh my God, I boo-booed the truck, into this is a huge blessing. Oh my God, this happened, into, oh, that's greatness. Or I am so amazingly excited to get an RV. Bing. Each time I come up the driveway,
yeah,
I am stunned and dumbfounded. I came back from this bicycle ride this morning where I was it was a howling wind, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I get to the driveway and I'm like, whoa. That was a thought becoming a thing. That is alchemy.
Oh, thank you, Colleen, for your donation.
How does it get any better than this? We love you, Colleen. How does it get any better than this? Thank you, Colleen. Arlene, I just wonder if he's a baby or older on the other side. Always wonder what he would look like. My opinion is both, Arlene. You will see baby and no baby is baby. But also you will see baby and no baby is infinite, is been around the block an infinite time or two. And that baby was wearing the baby costume this lifetime, and could also be your mother, your brother, your father, your sister, your daughter, your son, your grandparents, your elders, and every other role that you can think of. But you're certainly in a soul group going through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime together. And I know Jessica has a lot she wants to add on this one.
Not a lot. I read one book on NDEs many years ago, and in that book, people were recounting their experiences on the other side. People who came back, and they said that you take the form that you most enjoy, that you still have preferences on the other side. So like if I liked this form, I might choose to hang out like this on the other side. Or maybe on the other side, I would prefer when I was a man, and I might prefer my blue-eyed blonde self.
Oh, the irony. And I have seen you in a ayahuasca ceremony turn into an indigenous auntie. Actually, I've seen you turn into indigenous auntie. I've seen you turn into a powerful African strong woman. So you could take one of those forms as well. You could be like power woman on the other side. And so baby, you will certainly recognize as your baby, but also.
Yeah, I imagine that, Arlene, when you cross over someday, that your baby will greet you in baby form.
Yeah. So I go to automatic writing, Arlene, and I would start honing that skill and work on connecting with your baby, because my guess is that your baby would love to talk with you now rather than later. And I think that can be a very powerful healing tool. And it may even be part of the journey of why your baby was here. With that said, Laura, thank you for your kind donation. How does it get any better than
thank
this?
you.
How does it get any better than this? So thank you. Before we go into a meditation, and if you haven't signed up yet, sign up for our class for the next 4 weeks. $7. $7. I've done the math. That's like 20 cents, a couple dimes a day to sign up and really up level everything. How have you been enjoying the manifestation mastery classes?
My favorite is when you pull out Southern Comfort. That's not the alcoholic drink.
Who is Southern Comfort?
Southern Comfort is a very, very friendly, adorable, humorous squirrel.
So
this is Southern Comfort. Oh, there we go.
That's Southern Comfort in the chat there. So do you have fun with class?
Yes.
Do others have fun with class?
Yes, I believe so.
Is it a special experience?
Yes.
You're really selling. You're selling this hard here. Anybody in the chat room, help me out here. You got to understand, Jessica is the truth police. And so she is not going to try to toot her own horn or our horn about how this class is, right?
Correct.
It's just jamming gears on you to say how amazing I can do it. That's my style. That's how I roll. But Jessica's going to be really, really, what do you call it? Humble about it. But these classes...
I'm getting a question from Harpist. It's $7 for the first entire month. And then after the first month, it's $28 for the entire month.
And with that, and you can cancel anytime. So you could cancel after 4 classes for only $7, but you also get our collection of all of the past classes. So in the collection of all our Napoleon Hill collection classes, collection of all of our Neville Goddard classes, collection of all of our Florence Scovel-Shinn classes. So it's a lot of resources for only $7, but chances are you're going to want to continue, but you don't have to. You can get the 4 classes for $7 plus all the classes in the past and have a blast with it. Louisa just donated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louisa. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Thank you, Louisa. So I see no reason. And if you say, well, Wednesday nights at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and I can't make it, it's recorded too. So people on the other side of the world can catch it as well. And we even answer, you can get your questions answered live, but we can also, you can write us your questions for class and we can answer them as well.
You know, I was just realizing that we're going on and on here. This is a very long YouTube live, and our last YouTube live was very, very long. And Allie is also here, stuck with us, moderating the chat room. And the poor thing is...
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see this note. This note that Allie is...
So I think we have to sign off so Allie can get some food.
Can we do a 5-minute meditation and just have Allie...
Okay, yeah, Allie.
Allie, go get food.
Go eat.
Please go eat.
I'll take over the chat.
All right, and we don't have to chat during the meditation.
Oh, that's true. But some people are watching an earlier part.
Oh, that's a good... Oh my gosh, another donation from Diane Schmidt with a fox. I love it. How does it get any better than this? Thank you, Diane. And thank you, Allie. Go get some food. All right. What are we doing for meditation?
I don't know. You're doing it.
Oh, that's true.
I'm going to go off camera.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
And
Lots of love.
Oh. And we're going to do a short meditation, a manifestation meditation here, just to help you. I want to get you grounded into the beingness from which you can create anything. Grounded into the beingness of who you truly are. Grounded into the beingness of your truest divine nature. And so this has been going a little bit long, so I just want you to kick back, relax. Interesting. The screen just went dead. Pookstar. The screen just shut off. I said relax, and the screen said battery exhausted.
I know. Because
the plug
no longer works.
Because the plug no longer works because we have run out of battery. So what if we plug it into here? So we're going to do this meditation with our eyes closed and see if the screen comes back. And so I just want you to breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and out. The other option is in through the generator, down to the belly, and out. In and out. In and out. So as we continue to breathe in and out, generator, what I'd like you to do is imagine that you're holding hands to the person on your right, holding hands to the person on your left, and we are all forming a giant circle of intention. And our intention tonight is to remember who and what we truly are. Continue to breathe in and out. And I want you to focus on one key idea. But before you do that, take a deep breath, pause, and realize your angels, your guides, your loved ones are here with you, by your side. Your angels are putting their wings around you, holding you, coddling you, and letting you know that you are loved. So you are in a giant circle of healing, love, and light, and goodness, and community, where everything is possible, everything can come true, and everyone is love. And you are surrounded by layer after layer after layer of angels, of spirits, of guides, and of loved ones. And in this sacred place, as you feel the love all around you and you feel the wings on your arms, I want you to feel into what does it mean to be a spiritual being having a human existence. If it helps, you can simply repeat, I'm a spiritual being having a human existence. I'm a spiritual being having a human existence. I'm a spiritual being having a human existence. Take just a minute or two now. Feel yourself filled with love and filled with light. And imagine, feel, and know you too are the divine and are a spiritual being having a human existence. And now, I'd like you to repeat these two words. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. And for the next 2 minutes, I am love. I am light. With each breath in love and light, feel yourself getting more loving, lighter, and brighter still. I am love. I am light. I am love. You are love. You are light. And the more that you remember this, the more that you'll remember who and what you truly are. You came here from greatness. You are greatness. You can create greatness. And you will return to greatness herself. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. Breathe in love. Send out light. Breathe in love. Send out your desires. Breathe in love. Send out all of your hopes and dreams on that beam of light, knowing you are love. You are light. And whatever you feel in your heart, you can draw into your life or something better. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. I am love. I am light. feel free to stay in this sacred space as long as you would like. When you come on over to, I think the link is there. It's probably inspirenationuniversity.com. Jessica will put the link there. Come on over, sign up, join us Wednesday. Be the love, play in the love, experience the love, be bathed in the love, and remember that you are the love and light. Love you guys so much. Allie, thank you so much for everything. Carol, thank you so much for everything. Aya, thank you so much for everything. Anas, thank you so much for everything. Nico, thank you so much for everything. Carol, I think I'm mentioning you twice. Thank you so much for everything. Jessica, thank you so much for everything. Bhavik, thank you so much for everything. Everybody on the Inspire Lala, thank you so much for everything. Everybody on the Inspire Nation team, Dream Team, thank you so much for everything. Avery, thank you so much for everything. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Love you guys so much. And keep on shining bright. And we will see you Wednesday. Lots of love. Thank you, everybody, for your kind donations as well. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? Lastly, if you haven't picked up our automatic writing book, great way to connect with the angels. Woohoo! Love you guys.